thinking, are there really that many fucking comedians in Tulsa that are not Evan Hughes? The answer is we're trying to follow him. Oh, Jesus. Anybody here have to learn some dark truths about themselves recently? All right, everybody here uncovering dark secrets. You know what I learned? It's bad news, but I'm dealing with it. I am what you'd call an ugly dude. Don't? I'm fine with it. And I think that if a lot of you in here right now search your hearts, you'll find you're also an ugly dude. But it's okay, because I figured out the ways to deal with being ugly. There are 3 options when you are ugly. Option 1, I call it the Quasimodo method. Just keep your fucking head down, get through life, try not to make eye contact with anyone, and if a woman is ever nice to you, fall in love with her forever. And then when she fucks someone more handsome, be chill about it. Option 2. This is a little bit different. It's the sloth method. You look gross, but if you're aggressively friendly, people will still let you hang out. They'll even bring you candy bars because they don't want you to be grotesque around them. The third option, this is the toughest to pull off, you gotta be really good at something. It's the Phantom of the Opera. Be so ugly, but so talented, that your ugliness somehow becomes hot. That is a very difficult thing to do for a stand-up comedian. I cannot pull you back into the green room and show you the music of the punchline. I can't creep out of the rafters and be like, dick jokes. I'm not gonna do the whole thing. I'm no Uncle Gary, that's what that one is. There's a good example of someone who's ugly but really good at something, and that was Ron Jeremy. Yeah, maybe you can clap for Ron Jeremy, that's fine, weird guy. Ron Jeremy had such a big dick that it didn't matter, he was hideous. That man fucked everyone from 1970 until a year ago. But he got a little cocky about it. He flew too close to the sun. Because that man ate at Arby's every day for 20 years. And eventually he learned you can get so fat that your giant dick stops being impressive. When your 10-inch dick is only extending 1 inch past your belly, doesn't matter anymore. You're not going to be able to use much of it. That's my Ron Jeremy bit. You know you don't have a big dick when you fuck a girl and she compliments the angle. Like, wow, I really like the way that dick is curving towards the top again. It's like a question mark. I recently got a girlfriend. So that's fun for me. Also, Deacon broke up with his because there can be only one. Only one happy relationship in Tulsa comedy. It's taught me some things also. I learned girls don't like belly rubs in a sexual situation. You can't just be like, hey, great tits, rub, rub, rub. Scratch, scratch. That's scratching under her chin. That's not what you think it is. Gotta be careful with that shit. Who got fucked up on New Year's? Woo! Good. I did. I don't remember anything after 11:35. I had a hard cutoff time. And the next day, I spent the whole day trying to figure out what I'd done to the point where my room looked like I was trying to track the Zodiac Killer. I had like cardboard cutouts and string running, like putting together timelines. I ran into a guy 3 days later who came up to me and said, hey, how you doing, Ryan? And I said, fine, who are you? And he said, oh, we hung out on New Year's. And I said, that would explain what happened. And he said, man, you really love dancing. And I said, oh, you didn't meet me. You met really drunk me, who has no characteristics shared with normal me. Because I would never dance on purpose. It's not something I want. It's not something I want to inflict on other people. That one needs some work. I bought a box of Kleenexes that were on clearance because they were for kids. They had the Minions on the side, and now every time I use them to jerk off, I feel really uncomfortable. So I'm grabbing one, and then it looks like the Minion is judging me for the weird porn I'm watching. It should be. Someone should be. My girlfriend has cats, and I think they can tell when I have an erection. Because I'll get hard and then her cats will run into the room and be like, no! Not today! The only pussy you're getting is us. I'm going to jump on your lap and make you really uncomfortable that it feels nice. I want to invent an app that you plug into all your social media accounts and it searches them for the phrase, I'm starting a new podcast, and then it deletes that person as a friend. Fuck your podcast, I don't care. Nobody wants to hear what you have to say with your dumb white friends. That one's fine, I guess. Oh, these get weirder as we go. Last thing. Do you guys remember the first time you saw a naked woman? Yeah. It was tonight. That guy just saw that girl naked when they came out here. I don't know how this goes for women. I don't know if your sexual awakening is as like instantaneous as ours. But as a dude, I remember I saw a show on HBO called Real Sex. Does anyone remember Real Sex? I saw my first pair of boobs, and they were not good, certainly. They belonged to a 55-year-old woman explaining pony play, which is not what I was into at the time. But I'd never seen full exposed boobs before. And I remember I looked at them, and I memorized them, and then the show ended, and I still saw them in my head. And then I went to bed, and I woke up, and the first thing I thought of was that pair of boobs. And after 2 weeks, I couldn't think about anything except those boobs. And I went to the guidance counselor at my school, and I said, I think something's wrong with me. When will this stop? And he said, oh, don't worry, it'll go away, you're just growing up. And I am 32, and it didn't go away. I have thought about boobs every day of my life since then. And I wonder how much of human society has been ruined because we can't stop thinking about tits. Like if you could avoid thinking about boobs, that like the Leaning Tower would be straight. Religion would make sense. I don't know that one. I actually don't want to end on that one. That was really dumb. Oh boy. All right. Okay, I have one. When I was in college, I forgot the password to my Bursar account. Yeah, that's right, guy. It was scary. And I couldn't answer my security question because my security question was, what's your favorite sport? And I obviously don't have one. So I was trying to answer that question, and I typed in every sport I could think of, and then after I typed in both of those, I had to Google sports. And I couldn't get it, no matter what. So I had to call them and have them reset everything. And after they'd done it for me, I said, out of curiosity, what was my favorite sport? And the guy said, oh, let me look. And he did some typing, and then he got quiet for a minute, and he said, well, sir, according to the information you typed in, your favorite sport is Star Wars. And I said, yeah, that checks out. I always win at that shit. Guys, I'm Ryan Grady.